It's January and this is the Library Roadshow. On the show today, books, music, and virtual reality. Welcome to the January edition of the Library Roadshow. I'm Mary Stein, and this is a production of your East Baton Rouge Parish Library System. We're wrapping up the old year and welcoming in the new with some good news about the library. For the 10th time, your East Baton Rouge Parish Library has been named a Star Library in Library Journal's Star Rankings. To get to this score, they looked at data from 2020 for over 5,300 public libraries. We really feel that this stellar designation is due to the robust engagement of our patrons. Thank you. Lots of authors this month. Special Collections features Evangeline Reconsidered with author Vani Harlan. Our monthly virtual author talks cover a wide range of topics as we talk with best-selling authors Namina Forma, Dana White, and Russell Monroe. The Right Time series for young creatives with Boo Milton continues at the River Center branch in January. Local musician and author James Linden Hogg will share his new book, Finding Faith in the Wasteland, and journalist Dana Terrio shares her new book, What My Grandchildren Taught Me About Alzheimer's. Merlonda Janelle premieres her new book for children, I'm Best as Me, and Girl Scout Natalie Hilliard showcases her new book, Be You. We're even hosting a book swap at Fairwood later in the month. Honest Abe will be on site to deliver a Visit with Mr. Lincoln for kids and Lincoln as Storyteller this January. You can get organized or look at orchids with Garden Discoveries. A new series, Sounds of Science, starts off with a bang when Matthew Penny, LSU professor of physics and astronomy, shares how Earth came to be, from the Big Bang to planet formation. Saturday Science keeps the science coming with a look below the seafloor in Belize, discovering ancient Maya sites with archaeologist Heather McKillop, a professor of LSU's Department of Geography and Anthropology. Storytime starts back with its spring series. The Kids Orchestra comes to play. LSU Go Science Explorations sponsor a special STEM Storytime series, plus interactive programs for all ages. It's all detailed in the January edition of The Source, in print or online. Or check out the online calendar at ebrpl.com.
Free access to books, audio, and library resources are just a few of the benefits available to you when you get a library card. Need free access to a computer? You get that. Want free access to premium digital resources like Mango Languages and lynda.com? You get that. Need to book a meeting space? You get that. Heck, you can even check out a telescope or use a digital printer with your library card. If you live in East Baton Rouge Parish, pick up your free library card from your local branch library today. Premium access to everything the library system has to offer is waiting for you.
For every kind of service or resource that the library offers in the real world, we also try to offer something to parallel it in the digital library. So since our video game programs for teens, 20-somethings, and even adults have proven to be so popular, we searched for a companion service for workforce development that you could access remotely from home. And we found it in a new resource called SkillMill. It's time to find out more in the digital download.
SkillMill from Interplay Learning offers accessible pathways into trade careers. These online courses for practical job skills include HVAC, plumbing, residential construction, solar and electrical. Rather than just being video tutorials that you watch, it's interactive field-like 3D simulations. These work in a browser, there is an app for tablets, and it can also be used with a virtual reality headset. It offers nationally accredited certifications and education credits for use in skilled trade careers. These courses are useful to reskill and find a job, upgrade your current skill set, or even to learn some basics for DIY home improvement. For small businesses, this is a great way to provide quality training to your technicians at no cost. All you need to sign up for a Skill Mill account is a library card. Find Skill Mill and more online education resources in the digital library at ebrpl.com.
This new platform fills a real niche in our programming arsenal. You can develop your own skills at your own pace. It's so easy to use. Even a grandmother like me can use it. I'll be plumbing in no time. Let's shift gears now and go beyond the stacks.
Why do you have wings on, Jessica?
Because books give you wings. My name is Jessica McDaniel. I'm the Community Programming Librarian with the East Baton Rouge Parish Library. Today we're at the Louisiana Book Festival celebrating all things books with the Bookmobile.
This is a pencil that when you write with it, you look really cool and everybody gets jealous.
We participate in the Louisiana State Book Festival because that's what we do. It's our stock and trade. We connect with local authors, we connect with readers, we connect with people who just really want to get involved with book things. We've got book nerds, we've got creative types, and that's why we come here, is to connect with those people and connect them with their resources. So some of these people come from across the state, so we want to just kind of introduce ourselves. But then we also, a lot of the attendees are East Baton Rouge Parish Library residents, so we want to connect them with our resources, sign up library cards, things like that.
I came to the book festival because my friends from church invited me and they know I'm a book nerd. And it's been pretty great. I found some really good books. It's really, really cool to have the opportunity to meet all the authors. It's a very unique opportunity, especially for the people who read all their books, to be able to meet them and get signed copies, and it's really cool.
My name's Stone Key. I'm an author. I write urban fantasy, think magical realism, basically magic in current day. A lot of my sales are Amazon, so I get reviews and stuff. I never get to meet people. Having people come by, I get a chance to talk with them, interact. It's fantastic. It's a really great way to kind of connect with the people that are reading my books.
Well, right now we have the Bookmobile itself, where you can come in, check it out, get a library card, check out books. We also have a couple tents set up where you can tell us about your experience with the library. You can play fun games with our family activity kits, which are circulating at the main library at Goodwood. You can also put together an origami paper bookmark, or you can take it home with you to go to do it at home. There's always something fun going on at the East Baton Rouge Parish Library, whether it's fun, whether it's reading, story times, whatever. You should check us out at ebrpl.com.
It was so wonderful to be back downtown for the Louisiana Book Festival. Truly one of the best events we participate in each year. Between the authors and the attendees, we saw so many familiar faces and really celebrated the book. The energy was amazing. Let's start planning for next year. Stay right there. After the break, Patricia Husband joins me for a chat right here on the Library Roadshow.
The East Baton Rouge Parish Library believes that free entertainment is good for us all. That's why we make ebooks and audiobooks available for free through the Libby app. Grant free access to unlimited streaming music and video through Freegal, Canopy, and IndieFlix. Get a library card. Get free entertainment at ebrpl.com/digital library.
You're watching the January edition of the Library Roadshow. Everything you need to know about your local library system. Now, my counterpart, Assistant Library Director Patricia Husband, manages all of our library branches, and she also has the important job of working closely with the City Parish's Architectural Services Department in project management for all of our capital construction projects. And there are lots of projects in the hopper. Okay, Patricia, tell me about the Scotlandville branch. It's a renovation and an expansion.
Yes, we have advertised for bids, and the bids are due January 12th. And so once the bids are done and they're evaluated and received and awarded, the contract will start. We'll start construction in a couple of months after the contract is awarded.
So this is the bid to pick the GC, the general contractor.
Right.
And after that, we get to start digging in the ground and making changes, right?
Yes. And what we're going to do, because we have not only a renovation expansion for Scotlandville, but we're building an archives building that will house some of our our collection as well as provide a place for our facility staff. So this is our plan. We're going to build the archives building first, and once it's complete, we're going to move into the archives building and use that as a temporary library while the contractor works on the Scotlandville branch. The beauty of this is that we'll have a place for people to be, and they can work a little faster on the Scotlandville renovations. So we hope it'll get done sooner.
So this phasing plan means that we don't have to shut down the Scotlandville Branch Library for months and months at a time.
That's right. It'll be a smaller version while we're in archives, but it will still be a library that's going to be open, and we won't have to move from one side to the other like we had to do with Jones Creek and Greenwell Springs.
Right. That was, you know, it was again like, oh, let's fix the dining room. Oh, now let's fix the den.
Exactly.
That we were like gypsies. So if the bids are open January 12th, you think construction will actually begin March? April?
It has to go through the process of acceptance by the Metro Council and then signing the contracts and everything, and that does take a little bit of time. But hopefully by March or April, we should be breaking ground. And
We'll have an
doing
announcement in the
Yes,
newsletter as soon as we find out.
We certainly will.
Yes. So what features will the expanded and renovated Scotlandville Branch Library have?
Well, we're adding about 3,300 square feet. And in that 3,300 square feet, we're doing several things. We're going to expand the regular large meeting rooms, so you're going to have a little bit more space there. We're going to redesign the south. We've redesigned the south courtyard so we can have that as a programming space.
That's going to be so great.
And it's really going to be nice. We are dedicating a new space to the Black Heritage collection. It's going to be really nice. You're going to see it as a focal point just as you enter the building.
And even be able to do small programs out of it.
Yes. So it's going to be a really nice space. We're creating a dedicated teen space.
With a door, Patricia, yes.
With a door. And so they will have their own space. We're enlarging the children's space, but we're also adding 3 study rooms, a meeting room, a conference room, and 2 program spaces that can be used for things like story times and crafts and makerspace events, but can also be used for meeting space when there's no programming going on.
That is great, because that is an essential need in that community. They ask us all the time, and in fact, that brings to mind the fact that people ask for these features. People who live in the community ask for these amenities. They saw them here at the main library, at Greenwell Springs, at Jones Creek, at River Center, and we're delivering.
We are, and we're going to have a small vending area. It's kind of like at Greenwell Springs. There's not a lot of places around there to get snacks, so we're going to have a small vending area for the patrons' convenience as
And
well.
I know the teens will greatly appreciate that. Well, where do people find out about the progress? Of course, we'll put the groundbreaking in the newsletter, but lots of times people just want to see the pictures. They want to see the plans. Where do we go?
Well, at our main library website, there's a link to our capital improvements, and so all you have to do is click on that link, find the Scotlandville branch, and click on it, and you'll see our progress.
That's right, and the timeline is going to be there once we have it.
Yes.
And the little details of what to expect, and I love the images that the architect sent.
They are really nice. They're very beautiful.
It's very inspirational to see how the building is evolving over time. After the break, author Michael Howell, plus book reviews from one of our younger library patrons. All that and more coming up next on the Library Roadshow.
The East Baton Rouge Parish Library believes that staying informed is good for us all. That's why we provide free access to the New York Times and other national newspapers online. Permit free access to niche magazines and articles through PressReader. Get a library card. Get informed at ebrpl.com/newspapers. Welcome back to the January edition of the Library Roadshow.
Here at the East Baton Rouge Parish Library System, we love history, especially Louisiana history. My next guest has contributed greatly to that genre. Journey to War's Eve, A History of Jackson, Louisiana, is the latest published work by my next guest, author Michael Howell. Michael, how did you get your start as an author?
I think I got my start as an author because writing is part of my DNA. I had an uncle who was a novelist and also a poet who was my very first literary mentor. My college major was history with an emphasis on Southern history, so my crossover to writing history books was sort of a natural fit.
What is Journey to War's Eve, an antebellum history of Jackson, Louisiana, really about?
Volume 1 of Journey to War's Eve, published in 2004, is a narrative history of antebellum Jackson, Louisiana. My new book, Volume 2, is a continuation of this work. Its primary purpose is to bring to the forefront in more detail the remarkable individuals that transformed Jackson from a 6-square courthouse village in 1816 to an economically stable market town and center of learning at the eve of the war between the states.
What inspired you to write this book?
The more I did research on Jackson, the more fascinated I became with it. Its connections to the larger world were startling. For example, who would have thought that there was a large and prominent contingent of New Englanders who settled in antebellum Jackson? Or that Jackson had 2 published novelists? Or that a Jackson native was involved in the first laying of the transatlantic cable in 1858? Or that a Jackson resident founded a colony for free blacks in Canada in the 1840s? There are many, many such fascinating discoveries. The more I uncovered, the more I realized that Jackson deserved more attention than it has received from historians.
What advice would you give to aspiring authors?
I read constantly as a child, a habit that continues to this day. Reading helped increase my vocabulary enormously. It also helped to formulate my writing style quite a bit. You must follow your heart in terms of the subjects and genres you choose. If your subject doesn't inspire you, it'll be hard for you to maintain enough intensity to write about it. You also have to be willing to work very, very hard at your craft. You have to discipline your literary work habits. You'll never write a book by simply writing when you feel like it or waiting for an inspiration to come along. Finally, set your standards high. If you're going to write well, you have to set your standards high if you are going to excel.
How can our viewers learn more about you and your work?
The best way to learn more about me is to read my books. They are available at the East Baton Rouge Parish Library. If you need more information about me or my books, you can contact me at marshgibbon@hotmail.com. That's MARSHGIBBON@hotmail.com.
Thanks, Michael. In addition to Michael's books, you can find other books that delve deeply into local history in the library's collection. Some are in the Louisiana collection, some are in genealogy in the Baton Rouge room, and some are reference books. Consult staff in special collections for assistance as you begin your search. It's now time to check in with one of our younger patrons to find out what he's been reading at the library.
Hi, my name is Atticus, and my favorite book is Dogman Brawl of the Wild. Dogman is about a cop and a police dog who got hurt in an explosion. They had to go to the hospital. The doctor had sad news. That the cop's head was dying and the dog's body was dying, but then the nurse lady got a good idea that they should sew the dog's head onto the cop's body, and that's how Dogman was created.
Meanwhile, there he is. Whoa! So you've come to rescue your little friend, eh? Well, you're too late. Just look at him. He's changed. His spirit is broken. His will has been crushed. He'll never be the same again. But I don't feel bad. You see, Dogman's not really a dog or a man. He's a misfit. Even the other dogs don't like him. My mom and dad bring me to the library. When I come to the library, I like to read books because kind of that's what the library is about.
Thanks, Atticus. It's great to hear from our youngest readers as they make good use of the library system. Stay right there. You're watching the Library Roadshow.
The East Baton Rouge Parish Library System believes that knowing where you come from is good for us all. That's why we grant free access to genealogy resources available through Ancestry.com. Make the vast historic resources of Heritage Quest available to you online. Get a library card. Get your family tree at ebrpl.com/genealogy.
You're watching the January edition of the Library Roadshow, a production of your East Baton Rouge Parish Library System. Our pets are such an important part of our lives, but each pet is different, and it's important to pick the animal with the right temperament and energy level for your family situation. That's why we're so happy to host the Louisiana Capital City Obedience Club each year for Meet the Breeds.
Well, we're all here because we love dogs. And one of the reasons why we're here are to introduce you to breeds, because maybe you're interested in getting a puppy or adopting a dog to your family.
My name is Karen Reynolds. I'm a volunteer with Louisiana Capital City Obedience Club. We are here today at the main library on Goodwood to introduce the public to different breeds that belong to volunteers in our organization. There's going to be a brief introduction. We have some raffle prizes that the people will win. We have an agility demo, an obedience demo, and it sounds like a scent demo. And I have a tracking dog, so if I have an opportunity and we can do it outside, I'm going to show just the basics of tracking. I think the public really enjoys learning the different activities that dogs can do. The Louisiana Capital City Obedience Club is a volunteer organization that's been in existence since 1963 that helps people learn to work with their dogs. They do obedience, agility, tracking, herding. It gives the animals wonderful exercise, a way to socialize, and it teaches them how to be a well-behaved family member. It's very important to be thoughtful about the breed you choose for your family because there are different characteristics of each breed. So we hope to introduce the public to those characteristics, introduce them to the breed, and help them make a decision about the right pet for their family. We have 100 people registered for this event. That's a lot of people learning about different breeds, and that helps the dogs and the people really find an animal that will be the right fit for their family. If you want to learn more, go to www.lccoc.org and you can learn all about the classes offered and the many activities you can do with your dog.
So cool. I love seeing all the different types of dogs, and everyone's blood pressure seems to go down when animals are in the library. And speaking of something that makes you feel good, music filled the air at Bluebonnet Regional when No Spring Chicks came to play.
My name is Nanette Olivier. I'm one of a trio member of No Spring Chicks. And today we're going to bring a children's music program to the Bluebonnet Library where hopefully we'll get everyone moving and out of their seats and really experiencing the joy of making music as a group.
All the days are sunshine and the sky so clear. Excellent.
Well, it didn't occur to us to name today's program other than it is for children and those who love them. So we hope we have a wide audience here. And today we are going to share some original songs. I write children's songs, and then some traditional songs. And with us are today a couple of ukulele players, myself and a friend, and a fabulous flute player. And we have with us an array of percussion instruments that at some point we will ensure everyone gets their hands on and takes part in joining us in making music.
And that's how music came together. And then there was flowers and music, and maybe there were even daisies.
I think it's really such a blessing to have a child introduced to music at a young age, because they can develop their sense not just of musicality, but I think of confidence, of nurturing their internal gifts, and having something to share with others along the way as they mature. So I think it's wonderful to start kids off young in a lighthearted way, exploring music. Truthfully, this is the first time that I have played at the library, and I think it's just a fabulous community outreach venue, and I'm thrilled that the library is open to having such programs. And a little secret, I really want to come back. So I think it's the perfect spot to bring folks from diverse backgrounds and interests and whatnot together to partake in some good music. We want to give the children here a way to jump in and perform and sing and move, or whatever the spirit guides them to do, as a way to just feeling free to move forward and exploring a world of music.
Sails out in the rain. Oh, you're great! Oh, yes.
Music is for all ages, and there's plenty more music to hear. The library has a huge collection of CDs for all ages to check out. Plus, don't forget, our Freegal digital platform offers 7 free and legal musical digital downloads each week. We also have Quello video concerts online in the digital library. And now for today's contest. Visit the library's Facebook page at facebook.com/EBRPL. Share what joyful noise your kids have been making while they're home for the winter break. That's facebook.com/EBRPL, and while you're there, enjoy. We're not your grandfather's library anymore. What's coming up on the Library Roadshow in February? I'll have final statistics and numbers for our most recent stellar year, 2022.
Tune into the show next month and I'll share another free resource from inside the digital library at ebrpl.com.
Tune in next month and I'll take you to a program at a branch near you.
Thanks so much for joining us on the Library Roadshow, and remember, your East Baton Rouge Parish Library is open 7 days a week at each and every one of 14 branches, plus 24/7 on the web. Check us out at ebrpl.com.